I've been thinking, there are no bad stories, just poor execution. Every story has the potential to entertain its audience in some shape or form. Some are just better set up to do so. The thing I love about storytelling is that there is no one way to tell a story or one story to tell. There is just an endless sea of opportunities just waiting to be explored within each and every single story. It's just that the ones we label as bad stories tend to miss the mark in some way. What we say is a bad story may not really be the story's fault, but the way the creator chose to execute it. Enter anime. One of the reasons I love anime is because anime is the main medium that has the sheer guts to take what other forms of media would consider bad ideas or bad stories and turn them into meaningful tales that fans will soon not forget. In no other form of media will you see people punching the evil out of a planet, people drilling to the heavens, or slimes that can take on the strongest of enemies. Anime has a way of taking topics that you would soon care less about and make you literally cry over things that really shouldn't matter. In anime, the weird and wacky are not just weird and wacky. They're meaningful, they're powerful, they're inspirational, and most of all, they're damn entertaining. And I'm not saying that the other forms of media don't have the same feeling of taking a weird idea and making it into a good story. Look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. However, every time the West manages to pull off this formula, it's almost always inspired by anime in some way. Anime, to me, embodies the message that anything goes when it comes to storytelling, and that if you execute your story well, no matter how weird the concept is, it can be just as impactful as those we deem normal story outlines. But as times change, so do all things. Storytelling, even in anime, isn't the same. Don't get me wrong, the wackiness and crazy ideas these shows have are still very much present, but I'm starting to see more popular shows nowadays take a more serious approach to telling the story to please a wide variety of people a lot faster. And my question is this the beginning of anime transforming into a more serious medium to please more fans worldwide? Will anime lose the beauty of taking crazy ideas and making them meaningful and become more like Western television to appeal more to the world? Will anime sell out? Let's look at our two examples of the day. One Piece, a show that constantly takes things you shouldn't care about and makes you cry over them, and My Hero, a show that takes a much more relatable approach but achieves similar results as One Piece. I will only be comparing the two ways these shows tell their stories, not deciding which one is better. Also, there will be spoilers for both anime, so if you're not caught up with season 4 of the My Hero anime or the Dressrosa arc of One Piece, then here is your spoiler warning. Okay? Let's get into it. One Piece starts off with an average-looking guy with the ability to stretch. The early adventures of Luffy and the crew seem so small and just plain irrelevant. Yet, as you keep watching, you realize that Oda is building his world through these adventures, that the episodes may at first seem irrelevant, but they actually play a major part of your enjoyment to the story. You start off small and work your way to bigger things this world has to offer, and even this story has to offer. Similar to Luffy, our protagonist. However, My Hero takes the opposite approach, starting us off by showing us the grand finale that the world has to offer: Pro Heroes. In One Piece, you are not introduced to major important characters until way later in the series. Or at least you don't know there are major important characters until later in the series. However, My Hero literally starts its world building by showing us one of the biggest players in the world: All Might. Off the bat, we are shown what the top looks like, what it means to be the strongest hero. Even in early anime such as Dragon Ball, Gurren Lagann, and Evangelion, we are not shown the best those worlds have to offer from the jump. Already, My Hero has changed the formula. One Piece thrives on introducing characters that seem like they will not play a major role and turning them into unforgettable icons. Basically doing what I said earlier and turning the craziness of anime into something impactful. However beautiful as this transition is, it can be a double-edged sword. People watching the show may not stick around to see the impactful change. A lot of this plays off the character's looks. Oda clearly likes to have fun with his character designs. You wouldn't think that people like Usopp, Bon Clay, and Buggy would play an important role in the series, and yet these characters are vital for the story being told. Looks can be deceiving, especially in One Piece, but to be honest, that's the beauty of the anime. However, it is risky because it can put some people off just by looks alone. My Hero, on the other hand, takes the opposite approach. showing characters like All Might and Bakugo from the get-go and hooking its audience in, and only when you are hooked and invested does the show show you the weird designs like 13, Invisible Girl, and Mineta. It even gives serious characters weird quirks down the line. All puns intended there, achieving similar results as One Piece in a shorter amount of time and with less risk. And I say similar because One Piece, no matter how risky it may be with its storytelling, will always be more impactful in my eyes. This is because while My Hero focuses on taking cliches and changing up the formula, making us care once again, One Piece makes us care about things we normally wouldn't on our own. The story is much more memorable when it gets you to change your outlook and act in ways you usually wouldn't. While My Hero can get fans to shed tears for characters, sad backstories, life struggles, and even some characters' deaths, this is still very common in storytelling. But how many stories get you to cry over the loss of a boat? Not a living person, a boat. Not many. Now that I've given you an example of how these two juggernaut animes represent different storytelling approaches, let me answer the original question. Is it a bad thing that My Hero and a bunch of other new age anime prioritize a much more serious tone to hook the audience in rather than using the wackiness of anime as its forefront? No. Like I said earlier, there's no one way to tell a story, and although I'm starting to see newer anime take this approach, I'm not seeing any shortage of crazy and wacky ideas that solidify anime as a genre. Yes, shows that start off with a much more serious tone might be taking the center stage, but shows that continue to go as far left with storytelling as they possibly can are still holding the foundations of this community. In other words, what do I think is happening? Anime is not selling out. It's expanding its horizons. Anime is evolving to become something more than it originally was, and as long as we keep getting an equal amount of both shows, I see no problem with this. Nowadays, you can literally say there is an anime for everyone. But that's all for me today, guys. I made this video because I had a topic in my head and I wanted to talk about it. So yeah, here we are. But if you like this type of video, then be sure to hit that sub and bell. And comment below if there's a topic about the anime community you want me to cover. Our Twitter and other social medias are down below, so go follow those and join the On The Rise community. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and thanks for watching. I'm RJ Lane, and this has been On The Rise.